Please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and even consider hitting the dreaded notification bell. We've also recently set up a Discord server, so feel free to join that if you want to chat to people, or just lurk in the shadows. The link is in the description below. The man or woman in the arena. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat. That was a long one. I mean, it is kind of difficult to say it any better. In a world of armchair generals and ponderers, the person who tries has a massive competitive advantage. It's because you get to see up close all of the things that couldn't be accounted for in intellectual predictions. ESFPs have the ability to jump into something with a force of energy that makes things happen, often achieving things that the speculators of the world have deemed unlikely or even impossible. ESFPs are people of action, who contend with the present moment and all of its infinite possibilities in the most direct way, without being hampered by predictions and speculation. To put it simply, they see the things that the planners of the world miss, by simply walking up to those things and staring them in the face. Flow. The only way to make sense out of change is to plunge into it, move with it, and join the dance. ESFPs have a seamlessness to them. I'd even go as far as to say elegance. This can often be offset by the sensual energy they bring to situations. They are rarely going to look clumsy or physically awkward or out of touch with their bodies, as some intuitive types can be. They seem to flow through the world effortlessly, and they bring that into pretty much every aspect of their life. Because they feel so comfortable in their bodies and tend to be very present, it makes them quite captivating to be around. They are people who you describe as having presence, and can very easily change the energy of a room, should they wish. At their best, they can be extremely impactful people in a positive way. Desire. Trust instinct to the end, even though you can give no reason. Motivation is a temperamental thing, and to be driven by rationality alone can be very foolish. Rationality and logic can show you the correct path, but to actually walk that path takes more. It takes desire, a need, or even a compulsion that comes from within. It involves trusting yourself to make the right moves in the moment and to adapt to the unexpected. Things like desire, ambition, or self-belief are by definition kind of irrational because they often precede the achievements that warrant them. You have to believe in yourself first before you get to where you want to be. There'll always be logical considerations and practical constraints, but ultimately, in order to go for something you want, there's a level of self-trust that you need, a level of belief. As I've said before, it's an example of a situation where you invert that famous saying to instead read, "Some things have to be believed to be seen." The concept of going with your gut will resonate with ESFPs. And ironically, since their intuitive function is the lowest one they have, they'll often actually be advocates of trusting your intuition. I think the genius of the ESFP is to push forward, driven and guided by their instincts, the ability to back themselves, to know that when the moment comes, they'll rise to it. If you're an ESFP and you want to enter a dark, introverted world, then consider joining our Discord. If you're an ESFP and would like to give us money, feel free to join our Patreon. And if you're not interested in either of those things, then we'll settle for a like and subscribe. Deal?